So, very good evening, everyone. We'll be starting our presentation sessions now. First, we have Binayak Das with us. So, yeah, Binayak, can you tell me your topic name?
So, sir. So can you see the presentation?
Yeah.
Uh,
From which group are you?
a web developers group.
Okay. Yeah, you
Can
can
I start?
start. Yeah, you can start.
A good evening, everyone. I am Binayak Das, and today's topic for my presentation is real-time stock market data web application, and I am going to present the overview of the project synopsis. So these are the contents which we will be covering throughout our presentation. First, we will go through the story, relevance of the project, introduction, the key features of the project, the technologies which are used in the project, the challenges which I faced, conclusion, and then we will have references and then Q&A. So, so before we go into the project, let's go through a short story to describe the relevance of the project. So, so once upon a time, there was an ambitious investor named Rahul. He had burning desire to navigate the stock market and make informed investment decisions, but he struggled to stay updated with the real-time data. So one day, Rahul discovered the real-time stock market data web application. With its user-friendly interface and real-time data integration, Rahul's investing journey became transformed. He could easily track stock prices, volume, market trends, enabling him to make timely decisions with confidence.
Right. Sorry to interrupt you, but your camera got off.
Uh, okay, just okay. I am having some issue. Sir, can I join from another device?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Okay, sir, just a second. The story. So, so we have seen like Rahul discovered the real-time stock market to uh, for his investing journey. So the application's robust user authentication and security features gave Rahul a peace of mind, and he can then easily invest, and his portfolios and personal information will be protected through the authentication and security features of the project. Introduction: the real-time stock market data web application is a full-stack web application which allows investors to track real-time stock market data in an easy-to-understand format. Uh, our project is up to date and provides comprehensive information of the stock market to the users which are using the application. It fulfills several needs and offers various benefits to investors, traders, and financial professionals. Some of the key features of the project are real-time stock market data. So our web application pulls real-time stock market data from the APIs and displays stock prices, volume, market trends, and other information on the front-end part of the application. Our web application is completely secure and has user authentication. So the user need to create an account, and then their data will be safe in the application. The application has features of user authentication and security, so the data is protected at all costs. The data which is displayed to the user is in an easy to understand format, in the form of like pie chart, line chart, graph chart, etc. And our application has a responsive design, which means that it will be uh, it will be easier to access throughout various devices, for example, smartphone, tablet, or and laptop and PCs. So the key features which we described earlier, these are the essential features. Now, to have our application accessible to all the users, it is really important to have unique features so that our users will use our application rather than using some other application. So we have to unleash market differentiation, means we have to implement some features which are basically unique, and it is different from other applications, so that other users will use our application. It should have customer centric approach, means we will talk to the various customers and take their feedback, and we can implement those feedback in the application so that we can make it more user friendly and more accessible to the users. And last, crafting unique value proposition. We have to turn the ideas into reality, means those feedbacks which we took from the users, we need to implement those in a way that it can have it can be easily used, and so that the users don't have to so the users don't face many difficulties while accessing the application. So the technologies which are used in the application are, for the front end part, we have used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js. For backend, we have Node.js, Express.js, MongoDB. For APIs to gather the information of stocks, we will use Alpha Vantage API or News API. And for data visualization, we will use dc.js or chart.js to display those data in the form of like charts, graphs, as I described earlier. And for authentication, we will use JSON Web Tokens or passport.js. And for real-time updates, we will use WebSocket. We will see each of these technologies in detail, how this is actually implemented in the project. First off, we have front-end part of the application. HTML, we have used HTML, which is the most popular front-end language for web development. It is used to structure the content and layout of the web application. We have used CSS to style and enhance the visual appearance of the web application, to have a more unique user interface. We have used JavaScript, which plays a crucial role in adding interactivity and dynamic functionality of the web application. And we have used React.js, which is basically a framework library for JavaScript, which is utilized in the project to create usable components and manage the application state efficiency. The combination of these front-end technologies allows us to deliver a powerful and user-friendly application that meets the need of investors and seek their information. For backend, we have used Node.js, uh, Express.js, and MongoDB. Node.js is basically a server-side runtime environment. So, example, like a user needs to search, so the search functionality will be implemented through Node.js, so that all the data which is searched by the user is easily displayed on the front end part of the web application. and it enables us to execute server-side logic and handle incoming requests from the clients, as I described, like searching or sorting the data, or what kind of data needs to be shown to the user, those kind of things. Express.js is basically a web application framework built on top of Node.js. It simplifies the process of building web applications by providing a set of powerful tools and features. And for the database and and storing the data of all the users, we have used MongoDB, which will be used to store and retrieve the data from the database. In summary, like Node.js and Express.js provide a powerful and efficient backend infrastructure, and MongoDB basically helps in creating the database, and like all the data are stored in the MongoDB. Let's go to APIs. So to extract the data from the to extract the data of the stock from the internet, we can use Alpha Advantage API or News API. Alpha Advantage API is basically a powerful financial data API that offers a wide range of stock market information, like including real-time and historical stock prices, volume, technical indicators, and more. So in our web application, we use it to retrieve real-time stock market data about various stocks, indices, and other financial instruments. And we can also use News API. It is same as it is somewhat similar like Alpha Vantage API, which provides like access to vast collection of news articles, like headlines in the form of resources like financial markets. We integrate the News API to fetch relevant news updates, market trends, etc. So overall the integration of Alpha Vantage API or News API in a real-time stock market application enables users to provide with a holistic and real-time view of the stock market, and all the data is displayed to the user in an easy to understand format. Now data visualization. Now all the data which the user searches, it is really important to display those data in an easy to understand format. So for those we have used d3.js or chart.js, which is d3.js is basically used to generate visually appealing informative charts like that display stock market trends, historical data, and other relevant information. We can use d3.js to create like line charts, as I described earlier, like line charts, bar charts, pie charts, so that the users can easily understand the information which is displayed to him or her through the API. We can also use chart.js, which is basically a lightweight JavaScript library that simplifies the process of creating and beautiful responsive charts. It offers a user-friendly API and a wide range of customizable chart types. So, in summary, the data which we obtain from the API or other sources can be transformed and processed to fit the required format of d3.js or chart.js. By utilizing these technologies, we describe the data in an easy to understand format, and we enhance the visual representation of the stock market. For authentication purposes, we have used JSON Web Tokens or Passport.js. JSON Web Tokens are basically secure and compact way of transmitting information between parties as a JSON object. So what we have to do is we have to create an account or register using email ID, and those email ID will be incorporated to our JSON Web Tokens, and only those users which have their account on the server can only access the information, and no one else can access the information. So it is completely secure and authenticated. And passport.js is basically same as JSON. It is basically an authentication middleware for Node.js. It simplifies the process of implementing authentication strategies, including JWT authentication in a web application. For real-time updates and real-time information, we will use WebSockets. WebSockets basically provide bidirectional on low latency communication channel between like client and server. This enables real-time data updates without the need for frequent polling, refreshing the page. It is really important to display the updated data to the user So all these updates and up to date information of the market and stocks is displayed to the user, and all these real time updates is provided through socket.io, which is basically a web socket which we have used. It is basically a library of framework such as uh, it is basically a library which uh, which will be used to push the real time stock market data to the connected clients. Only those clients which have like their account and which can access the information. Now, after creating our application, it is really important to deploy the application in the internet so that it can be accessed by everyone. For the deployment purposes, we have used Vercel. It is basically a cloud platform that provides a seamless experience for deploying, hosting, and scaling web applications. Uh, we just have to we just need to have an GitHub account, and we need to host our GitHub account. We need to host our project in the GitHub account. No, basically we have to create the project repository, and we have to connect that to the Vercel account, and it is just in a matter of minutes it will be deployed on the internet. So the challenges faced during the projects are like the main challenge of the project was to pull the real-time stock market data from the APIs and displaying it in an easy to understand format, which was like solved by Socket.io and APIs like Alpha Vantage API and News API. And another challenge is to implement the user authentication and security features to protect user data, which can be solved by JSON Web Tokens or Passport.js, as I described earlier. So the conclusion: a real-time stock market data web application aims to provide users with an intuitive, informative platform for accessing up-to-date stock market information. The technologies which I described earlier, we can use all those technologies to display the information in an easy to understand format, and we will deliver the real-time stock process, interactive charts, and relevant news articles to help users make informed investment decisions. And to have the data secure, we have used like user authentication, as I described earlier, search functionality. All these features offers a seamless and engaging user experience. These are the few references which I have used to create the synopsis of the project. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, you can let me know. And for further queries, you can contact me on my email address, or you can also refer to my GitHub account. All the projects are hosted there. Thank you.
Right. So are you done, Vinay?
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's talk about the steps first. So see, there was a good explanation about each and every step, which was good, and you talked about from very basics to the deployment part. You were stuck with the Vercel part. Why is that?
So I have used Vercel before as well to deploy the
Okay.
project, but I just
Mhm.
forgot the how to implement the deployment part. I basically forgot the step which was required, so I have
Okay.
to refer that for
So you have
further
used it
explanation.
yourself. Okay.
Yes, I have used before to
And
implement one of my
what
projects.
other, yeah, and what other software can we use beside Vercel?
So we can use like Microsoft Azure, but for that we have to buy an account. And one of the
Okay.
main features of Vercel is that it is free and it is easily accessible.
So
We can
it's like
also use like Amazon AWS, but then again
mhm.
it is like we have to pay, so it's not free like to have like features, extra
Okay.
features.
So your tasks name says overview of projects and options, and it was a good explanation about what and how you're going to build the uh, software, which is actually user engaging. And the one thing which I liked was the proper explanation of each and every step. See, when you started the hook story part, I guess on your third slide, can you just reshare your presentation, please?
Yes, sir.
Right. So in the third itself, you were explaining it, and the same thing which is written in the slide. So that's like not necessary. Either
Okay.
you use something like tutorial presentation and then explain it. That will be nice. Or just add some lines and then
Okay.
explain it, because paragraphs format are not good.
Uh,
And see, throughout your slide there is no uniformity. Sometimes
uh,
the font size is big and sometimes small. Color are different for each and every slides. So basically there is no uniformity in the slide. And talking about, can you just scroll down to the seventh, eighth. Yeah, right here. So here you are using good graphs and everything, uh, which is good. Uh, what I'm trying to say here is, you must have done your this task, uh,
Sir, what?
the document task that you had.
Yes.
Yeah, so in that you must have built this tree diagram where you go step by step for each and every, like, first you have to do the registration, because you're a consumer, right? You have to do the
Hmm.
registration, then you go for the paying method, and then there is plans given by the doctor, right? Right, the SRS
Yeah.
document I'm talking about,
Okay.
right? So here you explain each and every step, like what each and every will do, right? But uh, what will be the outlook of your software, that wasn't spoken of. So that's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Yeah, hope you got me. What I'm trying to say here is,
Yes, sir.
because in your deliverables, in your mail deliverables, there is something given as, can you show me your mail deliverables, task
Just a second.
deliverables?
So this.
Yeah, your deliverables, fully functional real-time stock data web application. Yeah, outlining the design and development of the application, and then what
Okay.
features and everything will be there, and then presentation showcasing the application and its features.
So
That,
like, do I need
yeah,
to create another documentation for like?
no, not another, just a presentation, and inside that you need to explain each and every feature
Okay.
that's going to be in. Can you just tell me five features according to you which is very important in a stock trading application, real time stock trading application?
So the first will be the like displaying the accurate data
Right, and
from
how are
the
you going to do that?
for we can use, like as I described, through the API. API
Hmm.
will automatically display the accurate data through the internet, because it is
Yeah,
like predefined software which
yeah,
is
and
predefined.
which API?
Uh, Alpha Vantage API.
Right, so give the proper answer. Okay, first feature, then second.
Um, we we need to have, as I described, like proper user authentication
Right,
for
second.
and third will be to like all the data which we gather to display it in a easy format, like as I described, like in a graph format, or easy
Hmm.
to understand, like line chart, pie chart, or uh, colorful graphs, so that user can easily understand what is being described in the like information, all the information.
Right, and then.
And uh, like for example, there's a lot of information on the like on the on the internet. So the API will gather the information, but it is necessary to sort the information according to the user needs. So that can be the feature to sort according to what is like required,
Right,
not the whole.
isn't it the same thing, just like the alpha vantage which will provide you?
Like I don't really know how that works, but basically, like, for example, if we want, for example, if we want like some information about stocks
Mm-hmm.
of a company, but that will describe all the information, for example, from year 2005 to 2023, but we only need information from 2015 to 23, so we can sort that,
Okay, so you're talking
like,
about filters.
what, that kind of thing. Yeah, filters.
Okay. Okay. So like NSC, BSc, these are the things which runs and gives you actual app data that has to be displayed as well, right? And
Okay.
since we are talking about real-time stock trading application, security is also a concern. So that feature has to be there. So that was not. Uh, don't you think that's a good feature?
Yes, I mean
And
that's an important feature.
yeah, so yeah, these features could have been added here. Okay,
Yeah.
so as I spoke, you can improve on your hook story part. Just replace them with liners or pointers, and then explain them. Then don't use paragraph. Okay, and try to have this uniformity in your entire presentation. Okay, if you use
Okay.
a slide with, let's say, blue color, then try to have the shade of the same throughout your slides. Don't try to change the theme or anything. That will, and then it's good that you are using charts and everything. And then there was a conclusion slide, which again has this paragraph and reference and Q&A. Right. So that's all. Hope you got the uh, points which I told you.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Sure. Right. Let's move forward and yeah, you can stop presenting.
Yes, sir.
Right. Next we have Komal Meena with us. Yeah, Komal. Do you have a presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Am
sure.
I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. You can share your screen, please. Can you share screen, please? Yeah. Okay. Okay. From which group are you?
From
Web.
web development group.
Okay. 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 You can start.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Komal Meena from Web Development Group from IIT Ropar. So I am here to give a presentation on project Synopsis of real-time stock market data web application. Okay, so first we will go through the contents. So firstly we will go through the introduction where we will see that what is this real-time web application is and why do we need such app. Secondly, we will see the features that are required for building this app. Thirdly, we will see like technology stacks. So what are the technologies that we needed for building this application? Then we will see the challenges that we will face while building this app. And lastly, we will see conclusion and references. Okay, so firstly, what is a real-time stock market data web application is? So it is a full-stack web application that allows investors to track real-time stock market data in an easy-to-understand format. So it pulls the real-time stock market data from the APIs and displays the stock prices, volume, market trends, and other information so that the investor that needs to track their investments. So this web application also has some features like user authentication and security that ensure that the user data is protected. So why do we need such app? So like for young people who are still trying to figure out whether the stock investment game is for them or not, they can use. For first time investors, like they have very few skills but they want to start their trade journey, so they can use. And for professionals who value their time and want to have a quick in and out experience. And also for the tech savvy users who wants to have all the information and statistics in one place. So now we will go through the features that makes up for a successful stock trading apps. So the features are like first real-time stock market data. So the web application what do it pulls the real-time stock market data app like from the APIs, and it will display the stock prices, volume, market trends, and other information in front of us. Second, user authentication and security. So this web application has a feature that user authentication and security that ensures that our users' data is protected. And our stock trading app should be easy to understand format so that it's easy for our investors to track their investments. And lastly, it should be responsive. So our web application should be responsive so that it's easy to use on any device. Okay, so now the technology stacks. So what are the technologies that we have used to build this application? We are going to build this application. First, front-end development. So we will use HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, along with the front-end frameworks such as React.js, because it is a declarative, efficient, and flexible JavaScript library for building reusable UI contents. We also have some other front-end frameworks like React.js, Vue.js, jQuery, AngularJS, Ember.js, but we will prefer React.js here. Okay, so for the backend development, we will prefer the Node.js because it provides a seamless transition from front-end to backend development. Node.js also offers excellent performance and is well suited for building scalable and real-time applications. We can also use the Python, and for the backend frameworks, Express.js, because Express.js is a Node.js web application framework that provide broad features for building mobile or web application. And it is also used like for building a single page, multi-page or hybrid web application that we want. Okay, so now the real-time communication. So it is a feature must needed in a real-time stock app because uh, uh, you need it. So here are some libraries. So we can use any of them like WebSocket or Socket.io. So WebSockets enable real-time bi-directional communication between client and server. React has good support for working with WebSockets, allowing us to efficiently handle real-time updates for stock market data. And the Socket.io is also an event-driven library for real-time web applications. So it enables real-time bi-directional communication between the web client and the servers. Okay, so now the data part. So for fetching the data, we need some APIs. So here we have the two APIs, Alpha Vantage API. So it offers financial data, so real-time quotes and insights you can grasp, access stocks, forex, and more with ease, and integrate and analyze to make informed decisions. We can also use News API because it is a powerful tool for assessing news contents with a comprehensive collection that's truly immense. Stay up to date with the latest headlines and stories. It also integrates seamlessly and harnesses informative glories. It retrieves articles, sources, tailored research results, empowering you with news data as your insight inbox. So now user interface and experience. So we know for such app, user interface and experience plays a great role. So every app to stand in the market needed to have a good user interface and experience. So for creating such intuitive and user-friendly interface is vital for trading apps success. So balancing the new need for sophisticated feature and data visualization with simplicity and ease of use. Smooth navigation, fast order execution, and responsive charts is required to enhance the user experience. You can use Material UI and Bootstraps for the better UI. Okay, so we can use also charting libraries such as like React Charts to or recharts for creating a dynamic and responsive charts for a better UI and UX. Okay, so now comes the database management part. So here we can use any of these, but we will prefer MongoDB because as a NoSQL database, MongoDB offers flexibility and scalability, making it well suited for handling large volumes of data. Its document-based structures align well with JavaScript and JSON-like data formats often used in React development. Okay, so now comes the authentication and security. So for the authentication security, SSL, TLS, and authentication mechanism. So it ensures that the data is secure and transmission by implementing such protocols. Authentication and authorization. So by implement mechanisms like JSON, web tokens, or OAuth for user authentication authorization. And for the security auditing, regular assess vulnerabilities and conduct security audits to identify and address some potential risks. So now comes the testing and quality assurance. So before uh, to deploy a app in the market, we should test it rigorously to see that is whether it's performing correctly or not. So for testing, we can use Jest. And Jest is a popular testing framework created by Facebook. It is well known for its ease of use and strong features. Jest comes with built-in support for snapshot testing, mocking, code coverage, and asynchronous testing. It integrates well with React and provides features like shallow rendering and snapshot testing that are especially optimized for React components. We can also use Selenium, like it is also a testing framework for automating browser interaction and end-to-end testing. Also load testing tools. So these tools like Apache JMeter and Gangling to stimulate high user load and measure performance. But now here we will prefer Jest. Okay, so now for cloud infrastructure and deployment. So, like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform. So, we have various infrastructure and deployment services. So, we can use any of them because they include EC2, S3, RDS, Lambda, and CloudFormation. And whereas AWS integrates with Microsoft development tools, while Azure provides virtual machines, container service, serverless computing, and managed database solution. Okay, so now we will going to talk about the challenges that we are going to face by developing such application. So firstly, real-time data integration. So integrating and synchronizing real-time market data from various sources can be complex. So we need to ensure like a reliable data feed, and we have to handle the updates efficiently so that we can provide accurate and up-to-date information to our users. We have to also look for the security because stock market trading involves sensitive financial information and transaction necessity robust security measures. So we have to protect the user's data. For that, we have to implement secure authentication mechanisms and comply with regulatory requirements, such as known as know your customer and anti-money laundering. Regulations are crucial challenges. Third challenge for us will be its performance and scalability because real-time trading apps require high performance to handle a large volume of current users and market data updates. So we have to ensure that low latency and responsiveness while scaling the app will be going to be challenged for us and requires careful optimization and efficient use of all the resources. So now we are going to conclude our whole project. So what we have to overall do. So this project aims to create a user-friendly and a feature-rich web application for seamless stock trading experience. The technology stack primarily built around React.js for front-end development and Node.js with Express.js for backend development. So the project involved integrating real-time stock market data from the reliable sources, and we ensure accurate and up-to-date information. Uh, Also, performance optimization and scalability consideration. These are also crucial to handle a large volume of concurrent users and their market data updates. Security measures including encryption, authentication mechanisms, and adherence to regularly compliance are of utmost importance to safeguard users' data and transactions, and also for creating an intuitive user interface and seamless user experience. So, by addressing all these challenges and following a well defined timeline, the project aims to deliver a robust and successful real time stock market trading app. Okay, so these are the references from which I have created the presentation. So, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, so it seems like nobody has any questions. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Right. So is it over?
Yes.
All right. So Komal, your task says overview of project synopsis, right? See,
Yes.
it's good that you explained each and every technology stack. Uh, it's just see, uh, I'm trying to say here is you told me about there is point A, point B, and point C, right?
Mhm.
And you explained everything about ABC. But how am I gonna go? Like, is the starting point A to B to C, or the starting point is C to A to B, or C B A? Like, how am I gonna go? Because
Like the procedure.
yeah, the process. Uh, yeah, you talked about each and every technology which you are going to use and what are they used for. But the design, which is very important. See, you must have done the SRS document, if I'm not wrong.
No,
Have
sir.
you? Okay. Have you heard about it?
No, sir. Actually, this is my second task. Second
Mm-hmm.
task, and
That's
my
okay.
first task was of the web application.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. So basically, what SRS does is you have to build a software, but you can't just directly go for the software building part. You have to plan, like how are you going to go? Like there has to be some user authentication. Like, see, uh, let's connect it with your doctor's website. Okay, so there's a you created the doctor's search website, right? So let's say I'm a patient, right? I came to your website, so now I have to register first, right? I'll register, and then let's say the doctor is a dietitian, right? So I'll register first, then I'll choose a plan, like a yearly plan or a 3 month plan, a 1 month plan, right? And after that plan, there has to be some payment method, the fees of the doctor. Like then I'll choose a plan for like a month, 3 month plan. Then I'll do the payment, right? After doctor receives the payment receipt, that the patient has done the payment, he'll prepare a diet chart or a diet plan for me, and then he'll deliver that plan to me, and then that's how the plan will start. After that, let's say 3 months are over. Between those 3 months, there will be reminders, continuous reminders about the like you have to wake up at this time, you have to eat at this time, drink this much water, and everything. And then after 3 months, when the plan is about to expire, there will be again an alert message that plan is going to expire, and you have to either renew the plan, or you can just cancel your subscription, right? So there's a proper way, like proper stages that you go. Right. But in this, you explained each and every stage, but how are you going to go? I hope you understand me. Right. Right. Because in your deliverable, since you're from web developer, uh, in your deliverables, it's clearly mentioned that you have to talk about the features and then the design of the application. You don't have to build a design. It's just a synopsis, but you have to explain about how are you going to go with the process. Right. So that's what I'm going to trying to say here. Okay. Hope you got me. Then talking about the presentation now, see, there was a good introduction and a why, like a whole story. Those were very good. But see, in a previous presentation itself, there were like too many paragraphs which I talked about. You have to use pointers, liners. But in this presentation itself, you are using too many paragraphs as well.
Yes, sir.
Like in the
Could you
conclusion slide, yeah, I can see. But in the yeah, there are liners and everything, but in the conclusion slide, there are like paragraphs, and then in the intro, in the I guess the above slides, there were like two. Yeah, in this slide is itself, you can just take only 1, 2, 3 points like real-time data integration, and then talk about them. Don't have to include everything. Just security, just performance and scalability, and if any other challenges you face, then just talk about them. Don't have to include every paragraph in. Okay, and that's what I'm talking about. Like too many paragraphs, it will then look too much congested. Either you divide it into two slide or just add lines. Yeah, it's good that you followed uniformity, and there was a conclusion slide, reference, and Q&A slide as well. Those were the good points, and yeah, I hope you got me. That's what actual project overview should be, synopsis should be, because each and every intern is talking about the technology stack, but they're not talking about the process, how we're going to go. Okay, so that's all from my side. Hope you got it, right?
okay.
Okay, right. Right. So,
So,
right. Since we don't have any more presenters with us, we'll be ending our presentation session now. Very good evening, everyone, and thank you.